the mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
Hey, it's Kim Komando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to komando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Okay, here's something that you're going to want to try. You know how when you go to the grocery store and they always want that loyalty card number? Because if you don't give it to them, well, then you don't get the discount and then you pay up the yin-yang. Well, here's an insider secret that if you don't want to give up your phone number, what you can do is give up 867-5309. Yeah, I know, the Tommy Two-Tone song, 867-5309. Just put your area code and then 867-5309, and then you can use that as your loyalty card number because odds are someone in your community has done that. And I got a note the other day from somebody who gets our free newsletter called The Current, which you can sign up, by the way, at getkim.com. And they actually did that. And the $30 grocery order became $2.03 because apparently they had run up all these type of rewards. So bottom line there, next time you need a loyalty number, you should try it and let me know if it works. Again, just use whatever area code you're located and then 867-5309. And you see, this is the type of transference of intellect and know-how that happens here week after week on this, the Kim Komando Show. It's the biggest show. It's the best show. It's the award-winning show about all things digital. And I am here, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that you are always tech ahead, because if you're not tech ahead, you are left tech behind in the dust. And you can find my show in over 420 top radio stations throughout the United States. And I'm streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also find the Kim Komando Show as a podcast now. That's right. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search for Komando with a K. And a big hello and salute goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio. And I have to tell you, great sponsors help to make this show possible. And I always negotiate these wonderful money-saving deals for you guys and gals. And so to get all the links that you need and the coupon codes, head to komando.com/sponsors. You know, every single day I dive into at least 35 different sources to make sure that we are both tech ahead, as I mentioned. We never want to be tech behind. So here are the top 5 things you need to know that are happening right now. And over the years, I've done my very best to keep hardline politics off of our programs. I've repeatedly warned that social media is no place to get reliable news about the candidates or this election. But what happens when we turn to Google to find dependable information? Wow. Don't think for even a moment that big tech is not taking sides on this election. You would hope that Google, of all websites, would at least try to remain neutral. But a study conducted on September 6th, just a typical campaign day, showed that when Googling Trump's official website, it was buried under 7 news stories and opinions that were, here's a shocker, against him. But when Googling Harris, there were only 3 stories above her website, and all of them positive. So where do you go for unbiased information? You know, for the first time, I can say that I don't believe that there is such a place online. All right, moving on to number 2. We all know that crime in America is just spiraling out of control, and police departments are using surveillance cams. Well, in the city of Chicago, they've installed over 6,000 high-tech surveillance cameras over the past 20 years to help stop crime. These cameras can rotate 360 degrees, zoom in on a scene, and listen to this, they cover up to 4 blocks. But are they really working? According to a joint investigation by the Illinois Answers Project and the Chicago Tribune, not so much. Despite all the hype, these cameras only helped solve 3.5% of homicides last year. The problems, many cameras are placed in low-crime areas, leaving the higher-crime neighborhoods without the cameras that they need. And some cameras are broken, pointing in the wrong direction, and police don't always use the footage. More than 90% of robberies last year had no video pulled. But listen to the dollars. Chicago has spent almost $300 million on these cameras in the last 20 years. So everybody's saying like, maybe we should have just hired more cops. Yeah, that should be it. Let's come in at number 3. We're going to talk about Airbnb. Amy Petto in Illinois, she booked an Airbnb for a girls' trip to Michigan, lured by all these glowing reviews. And so they had a great time. They played cards, they shopped, they drank, and she made sure when they left that the Airbnb was spotless. But when she checked out, she got hit with an $18,000 bill. The host said that Amy caused major damage to the house, including everything from a busted bathtub to new plumbing fixtures, a glass door, as I mentioned, all totaling that $18,000. The owner said Amy made huge damage to the house that resulted in very expensive repairs. Horrible, guess, horrible. And Amy says, yeah, he's trying to make me pay for a bathroom remodel. The house was on the market for $1.5 million. And as a single mom and teacher, Amy wasn't about to fork over all that kind of money. So she contacted Airbnb, went back and forth, dropped the charges. So bottom line here, when you check into an Airbnb, just take a second. Doesn't take long. Just walk around, video the entire place. And when you leave, video the entire place, just in case you get some meanie pants owner that's going to try to pull some shenanigans. Moving on to number 4, just 18 months after Netflix cracked down on password sharing, and much to everyone's surprise, they increased their revenues by, $10 billion. Another streamer says, hey, I think we can do that too. But Netflix is unique. Most of its customers view it as a must-have. No other streamer has this distinction. So when Netflix cracked down on sharing passwords, there was an immediate outcry, which quickly died down because everybody said, well, I guess we're just going to sit on the couch and pay the bill. So the bigwigs at Disney Plus are trying to do the same thing. But Disney is not a must-have. You have kids of cash-strapped parents, they can do without it, and they're going to be in K. As a matter of fact, some of Disney's questionable programming lately, kids may be better than okay. And finally, this, coming in at number 5, 31 years ago when the World Wide Web was new and anybody with just a dial-up modem and would be able to hop on America Online and CompuServe, and websites were just begging for visitors. Well, let's look at today. Of the 5 most visited news websites, only 2 are still free. The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, USA Today put up paywalls requiring monthly subscriptions years ago. CNN about to follow. Fox News is experimenting your email address in exchange to see certain stories. So I want to just pass this along. When a website starts asking for your email, you can bet that they're laying the groundwork for a subscription program of willing and ready customers who are going to be the first to be just targeted to be signed up. All right, coming up, oh my gosh, I have the insider secret to get your email read when you're sending it to strangers, how you can trade in your old gear, even broken stuff that doesn't work anymore, and actually get some cash back. And a big warning if you're sleeping next to your phone. And of course, we just have the best callers ever. And you have me, Kim Commander.
Another broken night's sleep? Can't face the shops today? Well, maybe we can help. Now you can get your Dunn Stores shop delivered same day by the lovely people at Buy Me. Just order your same-day delivery straight from the Dunn Stores app. What's more, delivery on your first 4 orders is free. New Dunn Stores same-day delivery. It'd be a crying shame not to. Minimum spend €30. Selected delivery areas only, subject to availability.
Hey, so we gave away the brand new iPhone 16 this past week to Patricia. Well, now we're giving away an iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence baked right in. No purchase required. To enter to win, here's where you need to go. winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. Yes, you could win a brand new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. But you need to go to this address and enter now while you're thinking about it. Go to winfromkim.com. All right, Vicki in Lansing, Michigan. Hi there, Vicki. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, Kim. It's an honor to talk to you.
Well, thanks for being here. So what's going on?
So I have a question about the WhatsApp app. We're going to be traveling to Europe the end of this month, and we have friends that live in England, and they had asked if I had the WhatsApp app.
I like that. You know what? I have to tell you, you're so cute the way you're saying that. The WhatsApp app.
Should I just say WhatsApp?
Yeah, you can just say WhatsApp. Well, you know what?
Okay.
And let me tell you, a lot of people in Europe use WhatsApp. We've been kind of slow to pick it up here in the United States. It's actually owned by Facebook. So your friends are saying, "Hey, we need to get on WhatsApp."
Yeah. So basically, what he said was it's a way for us to communicate by phone or text for free without international charges or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do any social media, so I'm nervous about it anyway. And thanks to the current newsletter, I pretty much have everything locked down. I have downloaded it onto my phone, but I've not, signed up or activated it yet. What I really want to know is it safe and is it really free?
Okay. All right. Well, let's start with that. You mentioned you don't do social media. This is not social media per se. It's really just a communications tool. You're not going to get a public profile. You're not going to get social media tracking. What it does is what your friend said. It's really kind of a remarkable thing, is that you get totally free video calls, voice texting. You can use your cell phone data. You can use it over Wi-Fi. And so it's really ideal with when you are traveling, or if you're going to be speaking to somebody in another country, that you're not going to have those annoying roaming fees. And so it's just primarily to be used for communications that way, just texting. So instead of using your regular phone to text, you're going to use WhatsApp over Wi-Fi, and then you're not going to be looking at, AT&T or Verizon for their $10 or $15 a day plan, whatever it may be at this given moment, as far as on an international plan for your phone. Okay. Now, it is owned by Facebook, that I said, which is Meta. And so what you want to do is you want to turn off any type of data sharing, because you're pretty astute. And thank you for getting my newsletter. Is that whenever anything is free, it's like, oh, well, why is it free? Okay.
Exactly.
Like what's really going on here? Something's got to be given. You can turn off data sharing. You go into your settings and account and privacy. And really, when you get into WhatsApp, that's where I want you to spend some time. Just go into settings and privacy, and then you'll see things like just show my profile photo to just my contacts. Last seen by nobody. You can turn off location sharing if you want. You can disable a cloud backup. And that's also where you can manage permissions. And so you want to make sure that you're only given permissions to things that you need using WhatsApp, such as the microphone, the camera, only when the app is active. Vicki, thank you for your call today. Let's see who's next. James in Wichita, Kansas. Hi, James. What's going on?
Well, we have a ton of VCR tapes and pictures, old pictures, and I'd like to get them digitized, especially for the VCRs, because they degrade over time, I hear.
Yeah, they do.
So I was wondering if you had some kind of, or you can recommend an affordable digitizer.
Yeah. How much do you want to spend?
Oh, I'm looking in the $100 range.
That's going to be a tough call. It's going to be a tough call.
Okay.
Just because these things, like, for example, like Kodak, they have something called the slide and scan film scanner. It works pretty well.
Okay.
And that's about $100. So basically it's going to do the slides, the negatives, and photos, and put them all into the digital files. Now, when we start talking about VCR tapes, that's a pretty tough one too. There's something called Elgato, that's ELGATO, and that will convert these VCR tapes to digital. But here's something that you might want to think about. When's the last time you went to a local library?
Oh, a couple months back.
Have you asked them if they have anything that you can rent?
No, that's a good question.
Yeah, because it's so many libraries now, but they are getting like really into the times. Like, for example, like some of them even have like internet cafes, right? Where they're serving coffee and croissants and things like that. 3D printers are pretty common. You can also rent in some libraries. You can get like leaf blowers and lawnmowers. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so you just might want to ask your local library if they have any tools, anything that may even be just available to you, like when you go into the library. that will let you convert your photos and your VCR tapes. The reason why is that it's because it's a smaller budget than what you have.
I was looking for around 100, but if it's something that's really, really good that does the job, I could go higher.
So with Kodak, you have the slide and scan film scanner. Okay, get that for $100, and then get the Elgato. That's a video capture, and that's about $100 too. But definitely check out the local library. I mean, so much money is still being poured into the library. Like, for example, have you ever used the Libby app?
No.
Okay,
not familiar with it.
Okay, Libby is phenomenal. Libby's so great that you have a library card because obviously you went to the library. What'd you go to the library for anyway?
Just welding books and, farming books and stuff, just some magazines, farming magazines.
Oh, I get it. Okay. What do you farm?
We have a ranch and basically a conventional crop farm.
Oh,
and
awesome.
So we do like corn and wheat and stuff like that. And in the summer we have cows.
That's great.
Rancher puts cows on the property.
Well, anyway, sorry, I was on a tangent, but now I'm back. Libby, Libby, the Libby app. If you ever want to, say, get a magazine or a book on your phone, so you don't have to go to the library, is that Libby gives you access, I think, to something like 273,000 titles. So you get audiobooks, you get movies, magazines, as I mentioned, and even some subscription websites. So that this way, in case you wanted a magazine, you could just get onto the Libby app and then you can do that. But it's really phenomenal. It's Libby. That's Libby, the Libby app. It's available on both iOS and also on Google Play, of course. Again, the products that I mentioned is at the Kodak slide and scan film scanner and also the Elgato video capture. James, thanks for your call today. And thanks for farming. I love corn.
That's always such a big project. It is. And if you don't want to tackle this by yourself, just know, you can actually box up all your photos and any videos that you have and then just send them off. And then they send it back all digitized with a link to the cloud. Now, you're going to pay for this. It's probably triple the cost of, say, like Costco or even Walgreens. But in case you want to check it out, go to like legacybox.com or iMemories. All right, let's talk about your remote control. Oh my gosh, the other day I spent at least 10 minutes trying to find my TV remote. It took some digging, but yeah, it was wedged deep inside the couch cushions. Sometimes it's like the Bermuda Triangle down in there. Now, it's been said that most of us spend about 2 weeks out of our lives looking for remotes. That is a huge waste of time, but tech is here to the rescue. That's why you want to get yourself a tile sticker or Chipolo. Now, these trackers have sticky backing, so just perfect to slap on the back of your television remote control. Now, afterwards, whenever the remote goes missing, here's where the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. You can use an app on your phone to make the tracker beep. Now, they run about $30 online. But let me tell you this. The new Google TV remote includes Find My Remote. Yeah, it's exactly what it does, and it's all baked in. It's already on some Roku and Walmart TVs, too. I can't wait until it's standard on all remotes. And I remember the first time I saw a universal remote, I thought to myself, this changes everything. Ba-dum-bum. All right, stay right where you are. We have your great phone calls, and you have me coming up here on The Kim Commando Show.
Another broken night's sleep? Can't face the shops today? Well, maybe we can help. Now you can get your Dunn Stores shop delivered same day by the lovely people at Buy Me. Just order your same-day delivery straight from the Dunn Stores app. What's more, delivery on your first 4 orders is free. New Dunn Stores same-day delivery. It'd be a crying shame not to. Minimum spend €30. Selected delivery areas only, subject to availability.
Hey, if you have some old gear laying around, even if it doesn't work, you can actually trade it in and get some cash back. Yes, I'm going to be passing that along in just a few minutes. And later on, I know so many of us sleep next to our phones, but big warning out, you don't want to do that. I'm going to tell you exactly why. And let's say you're out there prospecting and you're trying to get your email read by strangers. And you're like, how can I get them to open the email? Because nobody likes a spammer. It's super easy to figure out anyone's email address or to reach out on LinkedIn.
So let's start with, say, rule number 5, which we have 5 of them. You want to get to the point. If you have a mutual acquaintance, put that person's name in the first sentence, or maybe even in the subject. And also, number 4, write like you're actually talking to a person, not like, oh, I just wanted to inform you of the, no. Just say, I came across your website. I thought I saw a perfect match, or I saw that you were advertising X, and I think you should be advertising here with us. Rule number 3, tell them what you want. Be specific. Rule number 2, you want to proofread it. Try to do it twice. And also number 1, the number 1 rule. Now, you need to get the recipient's attention with the first 5 words in the subject line. Or, you know what else? You are headed right into the trash folder. So the subject is just super important. You want to make it personal. Say referred to you by, or a quick question with the person's name in the subject. That usually works. Back to the calls we go with Tom in Columbia, South Carolina. Hello there, Tom.
Kim Commando, I'm fine. Finally, I've been listening to you. I'm not going to tell you how many years, show my age, but Kim, there's a website called Temu, unbelievable prices. There's no way they could make a profit. I did order something from them. It came in, but now I'm afraid they've got my information. I'm sure it's Chinese-based, and I'm worried. Should I be worried?
Well, it's called Temu. That's what it's called. What did you buy?
I bought a little socket thing and a caulking for a bathtub, caulking strip.
Okay. Is it okay? Is it good quality? Or
Yeah, I was really surprised at the price. I mean, they lost when they shipped it to me. I mean, it wasn't but a $7 order.
And see, here's the thing. What's happening is that Temu, a lot of people are shopping on Temu because the prices are incredibly low. The quality is average. You're not going to get great stuff. And it does come directly from China, so it takes a while for you to get it. So we're not talking about overnight shipping or same-day delivery from Amazon. But what Temu does is it's making money other ways, and it's making money with your data. So, like, for example, you could have your fingerprint and your face scan if you used it on your phone. It could have access to your camera, your GPS location, your photos, whatever it may be. It has access to your private conversation with friends, if you logged into your bank account, if your passwords, your credit card info. I mean, basically what Temu does is it gets everything that it can. Now, Temu is also related to another company that is called Pinduoduo, which is a holding company that, guess what? They're all based in, you said it, China. Okay. So when you're using Temu, you're getting low prices, but nothing in life is free or cheap, right? So in return, it's also collecting a lot of your data that's going to be shared with communist China. That's just the way it is. Okay. So, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, so, but it's such great prices and such this. It's like okay. Yeah, okay, it is. But, if you're okay with everything in your phone or your computer going to communist China, I guess you'd be all right with using it. But now Temu says that they've gone in front of Washington and said, oh, no, that's not us. We don't do that. We store things locally, just like TikTok. Okay. TikTok is another one. Okay. So is ByteDance. ByteDance is owned by TikTok is owned by ByteDance. Pardon me. You have Lemonade and CapCut, Cam Scanner, Shein, Turbo VPN is also a Chinese VPN. WeChat, UC Browser. There's also a program called Share It. These are all Chinese-owned companies. And, and a lot of people will say to me, Tom, well, what's the big deal? What's the big deal that China has all my information? What is it? Well, okay, they're building a profile on every single American that they can. Okay. So that's a big deal. But I'll tell you what my real concern is. Of course, they're building a profile and they know exactly where we're located and who we're just seeing and who we're talking to and whatever it may be. But my concern is a bigger picture. Because imagine this, Tom. What if communist China wanted to do something evil, Not that they would ever do that, right? Okay. But let's say they just woke up one day and said, we're not going to be the nice people that we are anymore, right? So if they have TikTok on 150 million American phones, which they have, and I don't know how many Temu accounts are on these phones as well, but just imagine for just a moment the chaos that would be ensnarled across our entire country, the riots, people scrambling, the murders, accidents. If they were to just use this power that they have on 150 million American phones to put out a message that says, North Korea is sending a nuke bomb right now to the United States. You need to be with your family. Okay?
And it's not illegal?
Okay, so I don't care that they have your biometrics. I don't use it. Okay. I'm really concerned about the power that they have to take over the power grid, to do denial of service attacks, to do anything that they want, because now they have complete and full access to these phones. Now, whether or not they're going to do it, I hope not. I don't hear anybody in Washington talking about it, other than they keep saying that we need to get China out of our midst. We need to make sure that TikTok doesn't have all the controls that they have, and people in the military shouldn't be using Temu, and people in the military shouldn't be using TikTok. That's already calmed down. And, but I'm hoping my military servicemen and women, they're smarter than that, than a lot of people that and I know that are walking around the streets, half-brained and half-drugged up or whatever's wrong with them, right? So I probably went on a tangent, and I'm sorry for that. But
well, you sound like I should be contacting my representatives in Washington.
I think you should be. I think that's what I've been working on, that behind the scenes myself with our representatives, because I don't know if they fully comprehend the power that we have given our adversaries by allowing these apps to become just a normal day-to-day operation. And also not for nothing, but the productivity hit that we're taking with people spending 4 hours a day on TikTok. Please, there is more to life. There is, than just watching videos. Tom, thank you for your call today. If you want to know more about Temu, in case you want to share it with your representative, I've got a lot of information posted over at commando.com. Just search for Temu. That's Temu. And then you'll see some articles that I've written for USA Today, and I've also written them for our website as well. And again, Tom, thank you for your call.
I just love taking your phone calls. All right, take a good look around your house. Do you have any old gadgets just sitting around that you're not using anymore? Trading them in can get you a decent Amazon credit or a discount on your next purchase. And I love this. You can even swap tech gear that no longer works, right? Hey, you start at the Amazon trade-in page, find your device, answer some questions about the condition of the device, and then you get this trade-in value from Amazon. Oh, and then they're going to send you a free shipping label. Love that. So be sure to wipe the device and you erase all your personal information and restore it back to factory settings before mailing it in. And then when Amazon gets it, they're going to credit your account with the trade-in amount. So if you don't agree with the amount, Amazon will mail it back to you for free. But here's the deal. If you live near an Amazon Books or you break it, I fix it, you can actually trade in your gear there. All right, still to come, we have more of your phone calls as well as later on. Wow, a big warning if you're sleeping next to your phone. Spoiler, bad idea. Here on the Kim Komando Show.
Another broken night's sleep? Can't face the shops today? Well, maybe we can help. Now you can get your Dunn Stores shop delivered same day by the lovely people at Buy Me. Just order your same-day delivery straight from the Dunn Stores app. What's more, delivery on your first 4 orders is free. New Dunn Stores same-day delivery. It'd be a crying shame not to. Minimum spend €30. Selected delivery areas only, subject to availability.
Just a quick reminder, if you have not already, make sure that you enter to win that brand new iPhone 16 Pro. You're going to love it. Go to winfromkim.com. No purchase required, by the way. It's a $999 value. That's winfromkim.com.
Let's see. Robert in Chicago. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm
Pleasure
great.
to speak with you.
Thank you.
And basically, I'll get right to it. My question is concerning voice changing software. I basically do some animation, and I work with puppets, and I film them. And I've been using my family for the different voices, but some of them are getting really reluctant to say, "Okay, fine, I'm tired of this."
They're saying, Robert, this was fun when it was a little hobby, but now you're like a complete pain in the butt. So
it's getting to be like that. So I want to basically, I write the stuff, and I put down all the scripts and everything, but I end up doing like the voiceovers myself, and then the puppets that I use, or the characters, the animated characters, they're in my voice, and it doesn't really work that well. So what I'm looking for is something like text-to-speech software, and I've been seeing advertisements on the Speech-a-lo, and they're supposed to give you 30 voices, but I don't know if it's really any good. And then there's a bunch of other voice changing where you take a character, you take your voice and you can change it into somebody else's voice. And I don't want to get too, into the weeds.
Yeah.
But,
it's kind of a fun thing that you're doing. How long have you been doing this?
Well, the animation, I'm still learning the software. It's a Blender software.
Oh,
I don't know if you've heard of it. And there's a learning curve to it. But I've been doing like 3D animation back in the 80s on DOS, and I've been using Autodesk software, and I've been going through the animating part. But the puppet stuff I just started doing right now. I've been writing stuff up, and just a couple of years I've been doing it.
Are you putting it up on YouTube? Or are you doing live performances?
Oh no, there's ways to do that. No, this is basically for my family's. Just basically around Christmas, we put together like maybe a half-hour video of snippets, different short little things. Like I got dinosaur versus a dragon, and against the green screen, and they basically are fighting over each other. They're basically fighting, and then a meteor comes down, and they both end up laying on their backs, and that's kind of like, just crazy stuff like that.
And then do you say, like, after that, do you say, like, Merry Christmas?
No. Yes, I would, but this is the way the monsters ended, or something like that.
Okay. All right.
And then it's a fun thing, but it's just for my family's use. Now I might make a bunch of DVDs and hand them out to my relatives or friends or whatever when I'm done, just in case if it turns out really well. That's what I was going to do.
All right. Awesome. Okay.
But it's the voice stuff I'm looking for.
All right. Let's talk about it. Okay. There's a couple of sites that I want you to check out. I hate giving these out on the air. So, because every time I give out a website on the air, Robert, somebody writes me a nasty email saying, "Oh, Kim Commando, that just led to a porno site or an OnlyFans webpage." I'm like,
no, just email them to me.
I will, because otherwise I'm going to get nasty grams, and it's always like not me. I'm like, I'm sorry, you wrote it down wrong. But there's actually one that's $19 a month. And you get 60 basic voices. You get 10 languages. You get commercial usage rights if that's what you want. They have, thousands of soundtracks. There's also another one that gives you 20 voices and then 3 voices with 20 emotions. And so basically what we're going to do is it's like a jump start. So you're not going to be sitting there trying to do this all the way.
Well, I've been trying different ones, but they limit you when you're doing the free trial.
Oh,
like
sure.
I can only do like 15 seconds worth of something.
Yeah.
And some of them are really cost. I got one here that's like $143 annual, and that's a real good one. I mean, but it's real expensive. And there's a couple other ones that are tied to software that I already have, and I've been going in there and trying them, and some of them are free, some of them are good, but a lot of times they're very tinny or robotic, and they really don't accomplish what I want.
That's the problem when you start talking about AI voices, that they have a tendency to sound robotic 100% until it gets trained, or you want to just put like some really extreme emotions in that AI. So instead of talking like this, you talk like this, you go down, you go up, and you give it different variations and before the AI actually gets it. 2 names, Murph and Lovo, in case you want to look them up, folks. But again, if you get to a porno site, don't blame it on me. Robert, hang on the line, and we're going to send you links to these, and thank you for your call. And maybe you should do a puppet like with Kim Commando taking over the world.
And then that would be fun. And then you could say, Happy New Year. We get all kinds of questions here on the Kim Komando Show. Speaking of puppets, what did one sock puppet say to the other? What did one sock puppet say to the other? Ready? You look like you could use a hand. Oh, yes. Hey, if you are just too dang shy to come on a big-time radio show and podcast, I get that, but I still want to get your questions. So there are a couple of ways that you can do this. Number one, you can send me a voice memo. What? Yeah, this is really fun. Just send me a voice memo. Be sure to say your name and your city. And then, of course, you give me your question. If you want to say some good words about the newsletter and show, that's pretty awesome, too. And then you send that to podcasts@komando.com. That's podcast with an S, podcast@komando.com. Again, a voice memo. If you're not sure how to do a voice memo on your phone, well, on your iPhone, you actually have a voice memo app. Yes, we love that. And then we have the step-by-steps for Androids over at komando.com. So again, send me your voice memo, podcasts@komando.com. And if you're like, well, I don't want to send a podcast@komando.com voice memo, I can just send you a note. Well, that's where you want to go to komando.com and then hit the link that says Ask Kim at the top of the page. That's komando.com, Ask Kim, or voice memos. We love those to podcasts@komando.com. It makes sense to charge your phone when you're sleeping, but firefighters say that doing this might be deadly. If you're sleeping, don't charge your phone right next to you. That's what the advice is. Why? Because smartphone batteries, even the new ones, they can explode. And you cannot smell fire while you're sleeping. So if your phone starts to burn, you wouldn't even know it was happening. Super scary. So cell phone batteries have been known to blow up for a multitude of reasons: overheating, physical damage to the phone itself, and normal wear and tear. And I just know so many of you charge your phone right next to your bed. Super convenient, especially if you use your phone as an alarm clock. The problem is doing so gives you no time to react if your phone sets ablaze. It's safer to charge your phone when you're up and about. Now, if you do have to charge your phone while you're sleeping, make sure you have a location far, far away from your pillow. Alrighty, then be sure to tell 3 friends about the Kim Komando Show and the Kim Komando Show podcast, because everyone needs more tech smarts, because otherwise you'll be left tech behind.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.